Hello, welcome back. If you're new here, welcome. I'll just do a real quick update on what I've been doing with the villagers over here. Smooth. Alright, so I'm starting to be able to breed them pretty consistently. You'll notice I have a few librarians here. Newer ones are him, who trades Respiration 3 helmets, or for the helmet. Previously talked about him. It's only 56 emeralds. It's still pretty bad. And then there is also him, which is a pretty good price for Unbreaking 3. What I, of course, did with these librarians was each time I had a new one, I would close off the fence gate, put a carpet on, and re-roll them until I get something I wanted. In the case of the Unbreaking guy, I figured, okay, well, maybe it's time to get mending. It shouldn't be too hard. But then I got Unbreaking 3, which is really good, so I decided to keep it. Same thing with him. Thought, okay, now it's time to get mending. Then he had Respiration 3, which I thought I would probably need, so I kept it. And this guy is willing to trade feathers again. So at some point I'll have to go back to my other base and get more feathers. I mean, I'm growing chickens over here, so it's not really necessary to go back there, besides the fact that I got a whole lot of feathers at my other base. At least 2 double chests, and I think more. But that is not what I was hoping to talk about today. As I've mentioned times before, I really like to do these videos to debunk things that were said in the Bible that just aren't true. You know, people have a lot of opinions about it without ever picking it up, so I feel it's a good idea to read parts of it so you know what's actually in there. And I want to do a quick little video on the 10 Commandments. Everyone says, oh, the Bible is just a bunch of rules and whatnot. So, I thought I'd read 10 Commandments to you and let you see how many of these things you are already following as a matter of principle. So, I'm going to be reading this from the New International Version. I think it's a little bit easier to understand, although sometimes it seems a little bit watered down. But anyway, I'll just start with the commandments. It's kind of broken up here. I think they're making a guess at how they're numbered. I don't know if anyone actually knows. The Ark of the Covenant has been missing for a long time, and that's where the 10 Commandments are. They are in the Ark of the Covenant, wherever it may be. So, first one here. You shall have no other gods before me. Pretty straightforward. If you believe in God, you believe in God only. Period. That's it. Kind of makes sense, you know. Second one here. It says, you shall not make for yourself an idol in the form of anything in heaven, above or on the earth beneath or in the waters below. You shall not bow down to them or worship them, for I, the Lord your God, am a jealous God, punishing the children for the sin of the fathers to the third and fourth generation of those who hate me, but showing love to 1,000 generations of those who love me and keep my commandments. So, this is a reoccurring theme in the Bible a lot. The question of is you build something with your hands and then you worship it. How does that make any type of sense? If you have an answer to that, leave it in the comments below. And, you're saying, hey, follow these commandments and I'll love you, I'll take care of you. Third one here says, you shall not misuse the name of the Lord your God, for the Lord will not hold anyone guiltless who misuses his name. That means don't say, oh God, or, Jesus Christ, or anything like that, in, vain or as a curse word. And if you need help understanding how that works, well, next time you think of saying that, maybe instead of using the Lord's name, you use your mother's name and see how good you feel about that. So, going on here, the fourth one, once again, the format of this kind of hints at what the numberings are, but so based on the format, 4, maybe. Remember the Sabbath day by keeping it holy. 6 days you shall labor and do all your work, but the 7th day is a Sabbath to the Lord your God. On it you shall not do any work, neither you, nor your son or daughter, nor your manservant or maidservant, nor your animals, nor the alien within your gates. For in 6 days the Lord made the heavens and the earth, the sea and all that is in them, but he rested on the 7th day. Therefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath day and made it holy. Now it's a lot, but basically it's saying work 6 days, be off the 7th day. And it should be pretty consistent what that day is. Christians usually have Sunday off. Jesus rose from the grave on Easter Sunday, so that's when they officially changed it from Saturday to Sunday. But, let's be honest. If you're working forever, 7 days a week, you're going to burn out real fast, and then all of your work will go to crap. So, you have 1 day there to rest, relax, enjoy yourself, within reason. So, that was 4. 5. Honor your father and your mother, so that you may live long in the land of the Lord your God is giving you. Now, for this case, I'm going to actually refer back to the New Revised Standard Version, which actually discusses the 10 Commandments again in the book of Deuteronomy, and this is going to be chapter 5, verse 16. And it rehashes the 10 Commandments here. This one, it says, honor your father and your mother, as the Lord your God commanded you, so that your days may be long, and that it may go well with you in the land that the Lord your God is giving you. Basically says the same thing. Now, this version I've been reading has large swaths of footnotes here, or not footnotes, like entire sections of the thing that explains a lot of it, and I have to admit, reading Leviticus for the second time with these large sections of additional notes has been very useful. But it does have a note here, which I'm also going to read to you, which might help clarify. I mean, this stuff is written by theologians, people of that nature, so this is not necessarily the Word of God, but it might be the way someone else interpreted what was written. And anyway, the note for that verse says, this addresses the situation of adult children living in extended family units under the authority of aged parents. So, I feel like it's important to point that fact out here because even 1,000 years ago, they had the same issues we have today. She brought other resources. But I will go on because we're getting near the end. Number 6, you shall not murder. Pretty straightforward. Number 7, you shall not commit adultery. What does that mean? You should not cheat on your wife. Number 8, you shall not steal. Pretty straightforward. 9, you shall not give false testimony. Transmit testimony against your neighbor. That means don't lie about your neighbor. Don't make stuff up about your neighbor. Don't say your neighbor was doing something he shouldn't have been doing, or that he wasn't doing something that he should be doing. So don't lie about others. Then number 10 here says you shall not covet your neighbor's house. You shall not covet your neighbor's wife, or his manservant or maidservant, his ox or donkey, or anything that belongs to your neighbor. And that's the 10 Commandments. Now I will make a point on that last one there. It's not saying that there's anything wrong with wanting something that your neighbor has. That's not right. Wanting something similar to what your neighbor has. You know, your neighbor has a nice house. Maybe you want a house like it. Nothing wrong with that. Your neighbor has a kind and compassionate wife. You would love to have that. Nothing wrong with that. But what it says here is don't cover specifically your neighbor's wife, or your neighbor's house, or, obviously we don't have manservant and maidservants anymore, but, or say your neighbor's dog or whatever, it's okay to want something similar, but what it's saying here is to not want the exact same thing, because if you decide that you want your neighbor's house, his actual wife, or anything your neighbor actually has, then you'll do a lot of evil things to try to get it, whether it's stealing or killing or doing false witness. So it's okay to want nice things to a degree, but when you want someone else's things, that's when we're gonna start to run into some pretty serious problems. It's getting near nighttime, so I'll sleep, and then I'll go over the beginning of actually no, I'm going to grab all this wood. I had a thing I was going to start working on. I harvested all this wood the other day because at some point I thought, hey, here's an idea. Why don't I use stripped logs for what I'm going to do? So that's why I have all of this oak now. because what I am looking to do will take a lot of stripped logs. A lot of wooden stairs, too. Let's start with that and see how it goes. Now, what I've been visualizing with this, why I haven't put stairs in, is because I'm visualizing something other than just slapping down stone stairs and going with it. I thought, hey, maybe I could make it look neat, but wood stairs here instead. I started thinking about it, and I thought, well, you know what? Maybe I shouldn't have these stone things here by the sides either. And I thought, well, maybe I could switch that to I actually want to put slabs there, and I didn't bring any of those with. So, I'll hold off on that for now. A crafting table up here? No, I do not. And then I thought, well, maybe it would look better if I got rid of all these stone blocks and used stripped wood instead. So, let's take a look at that and see how that would look. I understand that I am losing these. Now I should also point out that I do intend, on top of this, to put fence posts as well. Which I also didn't bring any of with. Yeah, you can't use a silk touch to strip wood. Okay, I will have to consult the wiki and get back on that one. That's a little bit strange. Hopefully the recent update, which really had a lot of trouble downloading before I opened the game, seems to be having some I feel like I definitely stripped wood before, but I'll have to see. Can't think of any reason that I'd have a problem with stripping wood, but I will have to look into that, or if you know, comment down below. But the game almost didn't play because of, first, the Launcherpad update, which took a lot longer than it felt like it should have, and then my game went launch immediately, which happened the last time there was an update, so hopefully this isn't something that Mojang will be making a habit of having problems with these updates, but we'll see. But I will leave that video for now. I've mentioned before I do not like to have these be real long, so leave a like if you liked, and subscribe if you want to hear more. And thank you, and have a good day. Bye-bye.